Hi there, it's Barry Walls here from the Quark Marketing Group, and thanks for joining us today for this quick presentation in which we aim to answer the question that we get asked most frequently, and that is, how can we produce so many high quality leads? Well, before I talk about that, I'd like to talk about salespeople in general. The fact that at the top of the tree, the top level salespeople typically produce many times more business than bottom level salespeople. And whenever I ask a lot of firms if they have any salespeople working for them, unless they have a sales force, they answer that they don't. Well, in an offline environment, the sales force is generally made up of flesh and blood human beings who go out onto the road and who speak to clients and prospective customers. But on the internet, you do have a sales force, but it's made up in a different way. And your sales force is your adverts, your traffic sources, your landing pages, and your copy. And when I talk about your copy, I mean your headlines. I also mean your images, your web page design, and lots of other factors thrown in. So if you have a website, you have a sales force. It's out there, it's working for you 24/7, and how effective it is determined by how effective the different component parts which make up the whole are when they work together. So your online sales force is made up of the places where you get your traffic from. It's made up of your advertising copy and your image adverts, and it's made up of your landing pages, which themselves are made up of graphics and headlines and copy and banners and calls to action and all sorts of other factors. So when companies tell me that they don't have salespeople, I quietly chuckle to myself and then relay to them the story that I've just relayed to you. You do have salespeople, and some of them are very effective and some of them aren't very effective. So what we do, the reason why we're able to produce so many leads of such a high quality, is that we get to work on your salespeople to weed out the bad ones and to put more resources into the good ones. So how do we do that? Well, the first place we start is with your traffic sources. And there are a multitude of traffic sources available to any business, but the main ones are Facebook and social media, search engines, local media buys, and pay-per-click traffic. Now, if you do the rest of your sales funnel properly, you won't need any other traffic sources before you hit capacity constraints in your business. So these are the main ones that we work with, and they normally are more than enough to overwhelm any business with a high volume of very high quality leads. Once we have the traffic sources identified and we generally know which ones will work for which type of business, we move on to the adverts. Now, adverts themselves, although they are in aggregate a salesperson, they are made up of individual salespeople. And some images do better than others, and the same is true of headlines and body copy and calls to action and your offer. So what we do is, unlike most businesses and web marketing agencies, is that we create hundreds and in some cases thousands of adverts based on multiple images, multiple headlines, multiple versions of your body copy, multiple calls to action, and we test multiple offers. And our goal here is to find each of those elements and combine each winning element into one super advert, if you like, into a super salesman who's going to encourage all of your users and your prospective clients to click on the advert and take action. And where they take action is on your landing page. And much like your advert, your landing page is made up of design and images and headlines and copy and opt-in boxes or telephone number placements or whatever it happens to be. Often when I say to people that we can create millions of landing pages they sometimes take a little convincing. So I'm going to show you now how we create millions of different variations of your landing page and the impact that it can have. And we create millions of different variations of your landing page by changing up to 10 or 15 elements at any one time and creating multiple versions of each element. And I'm going to show you now the impact that that has. Here is a test which we're running at the moment. We are testing 8 different factors. We're not testing factor 9 or factor 10, but we're testing 8 different factors. We're testing 6 different headlines, 6 different sub-headlines, 6 different sub-sub-headlines, 3 PS statements, 3 PPS statements, 3 image locations, in this case it's a comparison table to outline the benefits of the product, and 3 different buy now buttons to see what impact they have. In each case, the number one option is the one that we initially decided that would be best for this particular part of the test. So this is the control. So we have a control headline, a control sub-headline, and so on it goes. Now, what we're trying to do at each point here is to beat the control. So we uncover in the test all the factors that are working well together, and as you can see, in aggregate, we've put 489 people through this page, and 1.8% have reached our conversion metric. So they have done what we have wanted them to do in this particular test. If we were to combine all the winning factors in this test, 1.8% would become 13.9%. And that is a 6-fold increase in the efficiency of that landing page to get visitors to do what you want them to do. So that's basically how we do it. We use the information from the traffic sources. We find out which ones make the most money. Then we throw up hundreds or even thousands of adverts, and we find out which ones get the most number of people to click through to the landing page, and then we create millions of variations of the landing page. So we find the one that beats the control by the widest margin, and we use that. And when we have done all of that, we have traffic sources that are sending a lot of traffic to the offer. The advert is getting a lot of clicks. The landing page is converting a lot of people to take the action that we want them to take. And finally, we use reporting and conversion analytics. And we track by the traffic source, we track by the hour and the day, so that we can pin down right to the specific hour when you should be running your adverts and to the day. We also track demographically by age, sex, location, income brackets. In some platforms we can do it by income brackets, not all of them. But we track demographically to find your absolute sweet spot in terms of your target. And we track the ads and the keywords, and then we use behavioral analytics and heat maps to see to make videos of what your users are actually doing on the page. And when we combine all this together, that's how we produce lots and lots of leads, how we're able to stun our clients with how much extra business we can send their way, and how we help them to outgrow their competitors and to build sustainable competitive advantages into their lead generation. So you've seen what we do, you've seen who we are, and I hope it answers the question as to how we generate an insane amount of leads for the businesses we work for. If you like the sound of having a high-performing lead generation sales funnel working for you 24/7, staffed with expert salespeople, then give us a call today. There's no obligation, and even if we don't do business, I promise you we'll give you some insights that you can use immediately to improve your business. So send us an email for a free, no obligation chat. We look forward to hearing from you soon.